Until about 2 or 3 hours ago, I would have introduced myself as Dr. Paula Koger. And then my world began to change, and I realized what a mistake it was to call myself a doctor, when really what Hippocrates said was the doctor's job is to help the patient find the doctor within them. As long as I claim to be the doctor, they're not going to go looking for their doctor because they're turning to me for solutions instead of looking inside themselves. So now I'm going to be operating my practice under a minister's license. And I'm going to guide people to find their truth within, their God within, their good within, their health within, their love within, their joy and vibrance within. You know, that's the journey of life. And as long as we misconstrue this journey and not understand that becoming healthy is really about becoming happy and learning to take care of ourselves. I think we've been so very oriented to finding the right pill, the right treatment, the right person to do it for us. And we have to look within us and find the right person we are. The person who's full of our joy and our love and our connection to our Creator. Wow, this is a great adventure. Well, for me as a practitioner, it takes away a lot of the struggle. The struggle of, convincing people to do what's right for them. Honestly, that's too much for a human to take on. The most we can happen to do for people is to convince them and teach them how to find their connection with their truth and their guidance system and their love and their willingness to follow it. Now, the one part I want to offer people, and that'll be those who are interested. Many, if not most people aren't interested in this part. This part is, my real gift is helping people find the generational patterns, the personality patterns, the trauma patterns, the abuse patterns that have caused the blocks in their ability to find themselves. It's big. I like to call it generational repatterning. That's what I call it now. Doesn't matter what you call it. It's finding the generational issues that we've carried for many lifetimes, many generations, and letting them go. Now that's the hard part. Yeah, well, it's not really hard if you have the right tools and the technology and the ability to ascertain what the block is. So I use kinesiology to test what the block is, where it started, when, what generation, what ancestor, what lifetime. And then I use voice printing technology, which I find so far, this is after 50 years in doing this particular kind of healing, is the only one that lets it go. It's based on NASA technology. And it's absolutely brilliant. Calvin Young created it. I don't know where Calvin is now, but he's one of my heroes. And he created a vocal machine, which was a chair you sit in, and the frequencies to release the patterns ran through your body, and Zyto has taken that another step and created a handset that you put your hand on to release these patterns. I am a licensed minister, and I think mostly what God wants us to do is get back to the Christ within us, the light within us, the love within us. I find most people in the world are martyrs, victims, perpetrators, because we have been suffering for others, with others, for our entire existence. However long that is, that's how long we've been suffering. So I use some homeopathic remedies for the chakras to release the patterns. If we have the patterns, here's what happens. We keep doing the same things. Because like attracts like. It's the law of energy. Whatever you are is what you are, and it's what comes to you. Many people say, my husband is very stubborn, or the husband say, my wife is very mean. And I say, well, you know, it's impossible that you would attract that if it was not in you. And it's showing you that that's what's in you to be healed by you. What I find is the more I heal in me what I see in my spouse, the less I see in my spouse. The more love I feel for him, the more love I get from him. How you like it? Well, listen, we're all alike. It's the truth. We're all made in the likeness of Christ, of our Creator. We're all love and light, and we've just buried it. So, like it or not, our job is to let it go. Move on. Find our true self. You know, I think for most people, that is the most frightening thing in the world. To even consider stepping out of the misery patterns and finding the bliss patterns. Well, for one thing, it's very unfamiliar. And we do get used to the familiar. So the biggest thing we do to make sure we stay in the familiar is we eat sugar and ice cream, Cokes, and drink sugary drinks. And by doing that, we assure that we will not change. Well, it's true. You can argue it. I mean, I expect people to argue about everything because that's part of our victim-perpetrator thing. We have to have everybody agree with us. Well, I'm stepping out of having to have you agree with me, and I'm offering you a chance to see if what I am offering you has any relevance or any rings any bells, strikes any soft spots that you are ready to heal. It's kind of fun to feel yourself emerge, to get past the things that stop you. It's fun. I know it because I've done it. I do it. I think there's a tendency for practitioners to put themselves on a pedestal and not do the work. I do my work. I do the clearing that I'm inviting you to do for yourself. If you choose, if you like it, if it fits. No one on this earth wants to be pushed or cajoled or bribed or pay too much for what other people can do for them. We all either want to have someone else do it for us, or we want to do it ourselves. So I'm setting out on a mission today. It's the first day of my awakening to say I'm going to let my license expire so I won't be a licensed acupuncturist anymore. I'll be a licensed minister, and everyone who comes to me will sign an agreement that they're entirely responsible for what happens to them. It's an agreement that is drawn up by the Ministerial Association, Pastoral Administration that I am a member of. And it's a very freeing feeling for me to stop trying so hard. After 50 years in healthcare, 25 as a nurse, 25 as a massage therapist, Jinshin Jitsu therapist, acupuncturist, biofeedback practitioner, neurofeedback practitioner. Well, you look at my website, www.wealthofhealthcenter.com, and you'll see all the areas of responsibility that I have involved myself in patient care. And the biggest one is the enrollment in the patient in taking care of themselves. I've had some patients that have been with me for 20 years, and honestly, they're some of the healthiest people for their age, riding their bikes 23, 35 miles a day. I mean, extraordinarily healthy. And yet, at the very root of what's going on with them, they have not been able to take care of the most important things that are blocking their ability to fully love and be all that they are. For me, that's sad that our pain and suffering runs so deep. Now, the wonderful thing about these people is that they don't give up. And I don't give up on them. I want to go the gauntlet, but I also want everyone to know that whether or not they go the gauntlet is their job, not mine. It's yours. Physician, heal thyself. Patient, find your doctor within. These aren't things I said. These are things, well, I am saying them, but Albert Einstein said it. Hippocrates said it. Most of the great doctors in the world have said it. I'm looking forward to this new journey of just being happy, inventing new ways to find joy. I like to sing, I like to dance, I like to swim, and I am a comedian. I know I haven't been very funny on this video yet, but I could be. Maybe I will be. You never know what I'll be, because that's me. And my only job on earth is to be me, enjoy me, fulfill me. Now the ticket is finding all those parts of me that I haven't fully opened up to express. There's more. Oh yes, there's always more. Isn't that exciting? Finding it, uncovering it, opening new doors. Travel a new highway, open a new door, travel a new highway that's never been traveled before. That's you, your highway I'm talking about.